But speaking of kinfolk, let's get into it because Afra Ali, Afra Sings, called me up and said, Kim, did you see that? She called me up over the weekend. She said, Kim, did you see this shit on the internet? I said, girl, you know I be avoiding the internet. She said, no, 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 no. You need to see this. And of course, I'm talking about the brawl at the Alabama Riverfront dock in Montgomery, Alabama, where a city dock worker was attacked by a mob of unruly whites. And then did it devolve, or what y'all say evolved? It evolved into a melee of, it was a race war. I don't know how, maybe not a war, it was a race battle. And black folks was flying in, swimming. I mean, niggas swing, coming in from everywhere to get them whites up off Mr. Pickett. We find out the name of the co-captain of that Alabama riverboat. His name is Damian Pickett. Okay. And I want to get the story. I want to pick up the story from today's press conference held by both Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed, a little cutie, might I add, might I add. I didn't include him in this clip, but I'm just, if I'm not objectifying the men's, what is my raison d'etre? What is my reason to be? If I can't, anyway, the mayor's a little cutie. Let me just say that, Mayor Reed out there looking cute. But anyway, we're going to hear from the Montgomery police chief. And he's going to break down the charges because there was all kinds of, I was confused this morning on the Remix Morning Show when I looked at AL.com, which is Alabama.com, covers, I think, a good job, does a good job of, like I fucking live there, like I know. Like, yeah, I think they do a good job of covering Alabama. How the fuck would I know? But AL.com had reported that there were no arrests made. And there was a little bit of confusion this morning on the Remix Morning Show because very clearly in some of these videos, you see people handcuffed and detained. But it did turn out that AL.com came through with the accuracy. There had not been any arrests made on Saturday, August 5th, the day of the the Montgomery melee. Y'all, we got to come up with a proper name of it. Somebody said the Montgomery Men of Justice. all very suitable. But these are the latest details. This was a press conference done on today, Tuesday, held by both the mayor and the police of chiefs, Lord, the chief of police for Montgomery, Alabama, who we are about to hear from right now. And he's going to give us the latest on the arrests, the names of the suspects, and some of the other details that may not have been obvious or clear to police the night of the incident itself. So let's take a look at that.
There were several events taking place on our historic There were several events taking place on our historic riverfront. Positive feedback regarding a school event hosted by the Montgomery Public Schools and Hyundai was taking place at the amphitheater and nearby train shed. The Harriet II river cruise ship was fully operational, operating from a designated docking space along the river. The Harriet takes passengers on 2-hour tours up and along the Alabama River throughout the day. On this day, there were 227 passengers aboard that vessel. The incident occurred between a co-captain of the Harriet II vessel and a private boat owner and his family. As the Harriet attempted to dock in its designated space, designated and reserved due to the gangway access as well as the mooring requirements, the private boat was docked in its space, prohibiting safe docking of the Harriet. The captain of the Harriet remained away from the dock for nearly 40 to 45 minutes as they attempted to contact the operators of the private boat via PA system. They were only responded to with obscene gestures, curse words, and taunting. The co-captain was then picked up by a separate vessel and brought to the pier in an attempt to have a conversation with the private boat owners and or have those boats moved so that the Harriet could dock. A confrontation ensued between the co-captain and Mr. Pickett, the co-captain, being attacked by several members of the private boat. Several members of the Harriet II came to Mr. Pickett's defense, engaging in what we all have seen since on social media. I'll give you a timeline as to the way the calls came in and the Montgomery Police Department's response. The original call came in at 7 p.m. as a typical disturbance. The caller, who was the captain of the Harriet, was very calm and not in distress. As additional calls were received, at 7:15 p.m., the call was dispatched to the Montgomery Police Department. 7:18, the first units, 4 Montgomery Police Department officers arrived on scene, with 3 shortly thereafter. 13 individuals were detained and brought to police headquarters for questioning and interviews. Those interviews lasted several hours. At that time, all parties involved were released pending further investigation, but were all given instructions on how to secure warrants on combatants. We have since consulted with and are continuing to work with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, our state police agency, the Montgomery Days Office, and the local office of the FBI. This investigation is ongoing and more charges are likely. We encourage the public to continue to send us additional videos or evidence relating to this case. Those can be sent to Star Center at montgomeryal.gov or at our secret witness, 334-625-4000. The victims in this case, the co-captain, Mr. Damian Pickett, black male, and a 16-year-old white male juvenile who was struck by the owners and operators of the private boat. The suspects thus far have been identified as Richard Roberts, white male, 48 years old, with 2 outstanding warrants for assault, 3rd degree. Alan Todd, white male, 23 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. And Zachary Shipman, white male, 25 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. We have instructed those individuals to turn themselves into law enforcement, and as at this time, 1 is secured and in custody. The other 2 are set to turn themselves in within the next hour. We are also asking for Mr. Reggie Gray, the black male, 42 years old, who was seen wielding that folding chair, to contact the Montgomery Police Department for further interviews and as part of this investigation.
Isn't there more to that video? Because I included the chief taking questions. We don't have the rest of that?
No, that was it on that one.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. So there we go. That is the latest there from Police Chief Daryl Albert. That press conference was on today. And so the chief actually made some points of clarification a little later on in the press conference that these men who have these arrest warrants out for them, none of them are Montgomery residents. They hail from Selma and other places across the state. Also, they're being charged with assault in the 3rd degree, which in Alabama is a misdemeanor. It is not a felony charge. Also reported in the press conference is, as we just heard, the co-captain of the riverboat, Mr. Pickett, Damian Pickett, was the only person hospitalized that day in the brawl. And if he was hospitalized, it makes perfect sense. He was jumped. He was attacked by several other men beating him. And but for the Good Samaritans, the Black Avengers, bless them all, but for those people coming to the aid of Mr. Pickett, he probably would have been way more seriously injured. And let me be clear, I do not know the extent to what he was injured. So um please, if you hear other reporting about this melee, the brawl at the Alabama waterfront, riverfront, can people also make some inquiries about the status of Mr. Pinkett in terms of his health, in terms of his recovery? I don't know whether or not he's still hospitalized. I don't know the extent of his injuries, but his well-being is of tremendous import to me, and I'm sure to y'all as well, because it was him that took the initial beatings. So there's that. What's up, Big Teal? What's up, 40J Blaze? What's up, Nawadi? So there we go. That is part of the latest details. Now, couple of things. So, couple of people that were mentioned. Zachary Shipman is one of the people, one of the rowdy whites that has a warrant out for his arrest. Not clear, though it seems likely that Zachary Shipman is related to a Chase Shipman, and I'm not clear if they are the same people or different folks, but they are likely family members. Chase Shipman, by the way, made a Facebook post. I don't know if he is a resident of Selma, but he owns a mini mart in Selma, Alabama, and made a Facebook post over the weekend claiming that he was present, but was not part of the fracas himself, as it were. He says that he was trying to walk away while his cousins and brothers and them was beating the black. Chase said he ain't want no parts of the shit and he's trying to walk away. I don't believe that for a second. But apparently his mini mart store in Selma has been seized upon, at least online, been given tremendous negative reviews up and down. And the Facebook page for the mini mart in Selma, owned by one Chase Shipman, is no longer on Facebook, nor is his Facebook page. So there's interesting caveats and aspects of that. I want to discuss. How could I forget? Now, the police chief right there, Chief Albert, made a call out for Reggie Gray, 42-year-old Reggie Gray. Reggie Gray, the black man in the video seen wielding that chair. Reggie, we just want you to come in for questioning. And I hope Reggie don't fall for that shit. Reggie, don't fucking fall for that shit. Reggie, do not go and see the police. Listen, if the police won't come talk to you, Reggie, they know exactly where the fuck you are. They can come to you. Don't go to them. I think they trying to lock Reggie up. Like, you see how Chief Albert, come on, Big Gary, don't do this. You see how Chief Albert was trying to, make it seem all friendly. And I found it very unusual for the chief in a press conference to name a potential witness. You understand? I mean, if Reggie doesn't have a warrant out for his arrest, then why are we calling Reggie out by name? You understand what I'm saying? Like, is he a victim? Is he a witness? Or do you want him to have him come inside the police station and lock him up? You understand? So, Reggie, if you're out there, Reggie, don't fall for it, my man. Don't do it. Don't do it. If the police want to come talk to you, they know where you are. And if they ain't got no warrants for you, they can kiss your ass, Reggie. I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't go there. So hold on. Let me get to my doc here, because there's other elements about this that I like to get into. And the fact that YouTube and other social media platforms are are like flagging this video for violence and all this, and not to say that they don't do that, I guess, usually, but I think that the social media platforms, especially YouTube, are trying to keep close tabs on who might be viewing this video in a celebratory way, sort of like we would. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not supposed to be celebrating violence. Well, I'm not celebrating the violence. I'm celebrating the defense and the reaction to the violence. Yes, because the black man clearly, Mr. Pickett. I'm sorry, Damian Pickett clearly came in peace. He came over there just to have a conversation with the rowdy whites, and the rowdy whites let him know. I was getting big. I've misquoted likely, or paraphrase quoted, or attempted to do so a number of times here on the show, and I'm talking about former Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger B. Taney, who was Chief Justice of the court, 100+ years ago. But I think, was it the Dred Scott decision? One of those pivotal, are niggas human Supreme Court cases. Roger Taney wrote in his opinion that the black man does not, the Negro has no rights that any white man is bound to respect. And I'm telling you, the white supremacy ethos that is imprinted on racist whites, they subscribe to that shit 100+ years later. They mean that shit. Can't no black person come and tell no white person to go do something. What? And if you don't believe me, hang out with some of your white friends and see what happens when they get pulled over by the black police. I have an example. One of my white friends was allegedly driving drunk. Allegedly. It was not proven. But my white friend got pulled over by a black cop. And I had been telling my white friend, I said, listen, I know you're not racist, and I get that. But you have this privilege, whether or not you know it, whether or not you accept it, whether or not you believe it. You have this privilege. You can flex that shit any fucking time you get ready to. So on this night, when my friend was clearly criminally culpable of driving whilst intoxicated, they must have heard my voice ring out from the back of their brain. And they said, I'm going to try this shit. So my genuinely non-racist white friend decided drunkenly to get belligerent with the black cop that pulled them over. And wouldn't you know, not only did they not get locked up for drunk driving, they didn't get shit. They didn't get a citation. They didn't get a warning. They got told, get home safe, man. So white people, you use at your discretion, I suppose. But my point is, white folks don't have to take shit from black folks, and they know it. At least they believe it. And they will act on it if they so feel entitled to do, as these white men at Montgomery Riverfront boat dock decided to do. You can't tell us shit. You know what I'm saying? These colors don't run. These colors don't move they pontoon for some negroid. Not how this works. So yeah, there's so much entitled. I mean, again, entitlement isn't even the word. Like, I mean, because it was white folks on the riverboat too. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to get off. And the other white folks on the ground did not give a single shit. In fact, they got rowdy and decided to jump in the situation, which I get. I mean, I don't get, but I get, because I understand the racist whites. What's up to my son Tyler? But there was a lot of praise being heaped upon the Montgomery Police Department. And I not sure if I agree with all this praise. Now, the fact that police, number one, didn't shoot anybody, I guess they should be. They might can receive a crumb, an iota of praise for that. But I am rather impressed, to be honest, that nobody was arrested, because when Afra ran down the scenario to me, I said, so only the black people got locked up. Yeah, she said, no, girl. No, they had white people in handcuffs too. I said, nuh-uh. She said, uh-huh. So I want us to look at two things here. So one thing we're going to look at is a clip from mainstream news. I think this was like ABC New York or NBC News or whatever. But even when the cops do the bare minimum, I suppose, and actually take the time to find out what the fuck happened, they get all this, in my opinion, sort of undeserved praise. So we're going to hear a clip of that. And then, are we still on? Hello? And then we are going to hear from one of the videographers of the melee, and it's going to be the extended clip of the sister whom recorded not when Mr. Pickett, the co-captain, was attacked, but when the rest of the fracas sort of spread out around, and then white women was getting into shit, and then the sisters was like, no. So I would be remiss if I didn't show any parts of this, despite the fact that I know you all have seen it. In fact, this clip that I think we're about to view has been viewed 62 million times on Twitter. And by the way, I'm calling Twitter Twitter. I'm not calling that shit X, because I don't subscribe to Elon Musk's little fucked up fantasies about, you going to trademark X and all that shit. No, nigga, Twitter. I don't have an X account, bitch. I have a Twitter account. So anywho, Will, are we good to cue that up? Let's take a look at these two clips. The propaganda praising the police, I guess, and then the extended clip from the sister who gave the best, as we call them in the DMV here, size-ups, and she sounded like Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! I love it. So let's take a look at this.
The fight that broke out here in Montgomery, Alabama is being celebrated all over the internet for the way police responded and for the way that black eyewitnesses came to this dock worker's rescue.
Those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there, and they left it there.
Witnesses say it started when this crew member in the white uniform tried moving a boat that the owners had parked in this spot. He was trying to make room for a riverboat that was on the way in. That's when a shirtless man came to confront the dock worker, and then his friends came out, and then one of them got violent, beating the crew member. In seconds, there were several people outnumbering him, and this woman even seen kicking him while he was down. But all of a sudden, black eyewitnesses who were watching decided it was time to help the man who was being beaten, running, even swimming up to the scene, beating back on the people who attacked the man. Police came in minutes, and according to Montgomery's mayor, detained several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was doing his job.
Hey, y'all finna go to jail, bro. You're going to jail.
Cause these motherfuckers thought shit was sweet.
You're going to jail.
They ain't had no business jumping on them folks. Look at the crew members. They ready, yeah. All y'all ass need to load up. Ooh, look at the crew. All of them. Jumped on that man. They ready. Oh, they ready. Big boy bumping like good gas. Look at him. Red back ass. Man, they couldn't do nothing with that man. They jumped off while you had to sit on him. Hey, why you running, man? You scared, man? I'll sleep down there. That's my boat right there.
Go get through here.
What the hell? Yeah, these white folks jumped on these black men that work security. We trying to get on the sipping cycle, the Marriott trying to come through, and the man was telling them to move their boat because the Marriott couldn't dock so the folks could get off, and everybody on the sipping cycle, we just waiting. Why these folks that swung on and jumped on this black man, baby? The crew member that jumped off the Marriott, baby. They whooping ass, baby. Now come up out that boat, baby. They ready to move some. They ready to move some.
You ready to run?
Yeah. What's up?
Y'all were tough a minute ago.
Yeah. Woo! They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo! Beat their ass. jumping on that black man like that, baby. What y'all thought was going on? They put their ass in the water, y'all. Boo out! Boo out! Boo out! Boo! Turn their ass up. Baby, please. Ooh. Ashley, boo out! Yo. Look at the man that waving. He was the one that got jumped on.
Don't cry though. Hello.
Hey,
let's go, man. It's time to go, man. I need to take a shot. Hey, super my cup.
I bet y'all won't try that shit no more. On my mama, these motherfuckers need to have handcuffs on. Ain't no need to cry now. These the ones that started it. Y'all need to put handcuffs on them. Why they down there fucking crying? Them the ones that need to have the handcuffs on right here. Miss Susan McCluskey and all of them. Yeah, they got clubbed up. All of them. All of them. Yeah, come get them. Come get them. Come get them. Yeah. He started that shit. Get them. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. All them motherfuckers. Fuck they come out.
All they ass.
All of them.
We got the goddamn video, fuck that.
The fuck? That what you get? All that ass.
All that ass.
All of them.
I ain't got shit. All that ass. Hey, all of them. They ain't got no cover.
All they motherfucking ass. Cause they should have did that. The man with the white shirt on, they jumped on him. Right there. Right here. All of them.
All them jumped on
Baby, all of them. That shit was crazy. You should have did that. Nah, we were waiting to get on the boat. He worked here.
He hopped on the paddle boat to come over here and tell them they was all over.
And they had kept telling them to move their boat, but the Harriet couldn't dock.
When he got off, all these white people, they
Jumped on him.
They jumped on him. We were finna beat their ass, but when the boat got
So when the boat got off, you know, they came on there. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, they started that.
Saying the white guys jumped on the black.
Yeah.
on that man right there. That's what
He worked here. He was just telling them to move their personal boat so the Marriott could dock. Because we waiting to get on the sipping cycle and they keep circling around and they couldn't get off.
Okay.
He moved their damn boat and that's when they came down there and jumped on the damn man.
Okay.
That's where that came from.
Witnesses.
What?
Just for a statement. We ain't talking about you. Brother.
Yeah, they jumped on him. They shouldn't even be arresting him.
Okay.
They shouldn't even be arresting him. He shouldn't even be arrested. They jumped on him. He wasn't doing shit but his job. And ain't no need to cry now because you were jumping on him too, baby.
You have videos that you want to share with
Yep, him too. Him, right here. Him. All them, baby. Why is she down there crying? Why is she down there crying? Him, all them.
Y'all got video? Anybody got video? Anybody got video?
We waiting on the boat. Baby, we waiting on the we waiting on the sister cycle.
Ma'am, you got the video so I can see you.
Huh?
You got the video. Please transfer the video.
Yo. First of all, whatever next big boxing match, mixed martial arts, MMA, whatever the fuck, she need to be ringside and going boop, 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 Listen, the color commentary from black folks remains undefeated. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Take it up with Jesus. Take it up with Allah. I don't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? The exceptionalism of my folks remain flawless. And let me say this, like, by all accounts, nobody was arrested right there that night on the scene at the dock on Saturday the 5th, right? So these 4 arrest warrants have been issued this week. So we got people going to jail. So far it appears as though no black folks will be going to jail. But again, I don't trust the fucking cops. Like, I do not trust the police. Yeah. Black man, black police chief. That shit don't mean shit. We got black man, black police chief right here in DC. Like, that shit don't mean shit. There's a black man. Is the police commissioner in Baltimore black still? Yeah, this black man, black police chief, they do them parents all the time, and they still somehow manage to find a way to still shit on black people. So again, if anybody know Reggie Gray out there in Montgomery, you tell Reggie, can't trust it, dog. Don't go in there and talk to the cops, because I have a feeling that these officials of Montgomery might be receiving some external pressure. You know, we have to have equal application of the law. It wasn't just white. It wasn't just white man out there fighting. Them colors was out there fighting too. They ran up. They was hitting women. Did you say the one swung the chair and hit the lady, hit the white woman in the head? You got to arrest some of these blacks too, because they was out there fighting. They can't just be out there fighting. The fuck they can't. The whites do it all the goddamn time. So anyway, I don't trust the cops in this scenario. I don't trust them at all. And as the police chief said at the press conference, that there are more arrests forthcoming, right? So I'm assuming that some of them arrests is going to be of black folks as well. So maybe, anyway, let me hold that. But in the instance of the police asking for witness videos, everybody cooperate with the police at your discretion, right? Like, for people who don't cooperate with criminal investigations, I don't knock them, you know what I'm saying? Because even if you cooperate, it's not a guarantee that the person who is actually guilty of said offense is going to be the one that gets arrested or even prosecuted or even convicted, for that matter. So cooperating with the cops, you know, sort of is a double-edged sword, I guess. But I have to say, if you do choose to cooperate with the police and you are black especially, snitching on white folks is all right. Racist whites? Shit. Yes. I mean, listen, if y'all see Franny Francais doing something, y'all better not say a goddamn thing. Y'all, in fact, I'm gonna need y'all to be alibi witnesses for Franny. You understand? Like, no, we take up for Franny. We make sure Franny is safe out here in these streets. The racist whites, shit. Everything. What you need, officer? I've documented the entire thing. I have all the evidence necessary for you to lock up Chase and Richard and who was the other one? I don't know. But the racist rowdy whites, oh, you snitch on them all goddamn day. And the justice system may or may not come after them with the same amount of vigor and force that they would a black defendant, but snitching on the racist whites, totally acceptable. Yeah, I actually encourage that. Yes. So anyway, where was I? Apologize. Listen, I'm loving everything, all the things that are being said here in the chat. I know y'all are appreciating of this moment, and this is interesting. Like, this is a flashpoint kind of cultural moment, a shared moment, you know, that is especially poignant to black folks. And I think it's something that we need to, number one, be heartened by. I think Lucretia, another word you used this morning, she said she was heartened to see the unity, you know, the solidarity come out for the co-captain, Mr. Pickett, who was attacked by these racists. And you guys, we're going to have to be ready. We're going to have to be ready to step up and do that kind of shit in the future. Because if and when Donald Trump gets reelected to be president, all of the ilk that follow Trump, which we all know are racist, right? There's no non-racists that follow Donald Trump. Even the blacks for Trump are racist pieces of shit, right? Aren't they anti-black pieces of shit? Absolutely, right? So I sort of envision / predict there's going to be like a purge sort of thing, right? all the racist members of the military, all the racist cops, i.e., some of the cops that actually let some of the January 6th insurrectionists into the Capitol. How come I don't hear no stories about them niggas when we got them niggas on tape? And they was not niggas, by the way. That everybody's a nigga on the Burn It Down with Kim Brown platform, but they was white niggas specifically, right? The white police niggas let the January 6th niggas in. And I ain't hear nothing about that. I heard some officers got disciplined. But my point is, there are plenty of racists within the ranks of the establishment, be it the political establishment, military, police establishment, that are down to execute some purge shit against, us, whoever us is. So we got to be ready, to defend, to support one another, even if it's somebody you don't know. If you see them being jumped on by whites, especially, I would ask that either you document, or if you are physically able, intercede in the way that Black men and women answered the call. And not just Black women, men and women, by the way, the chief of police in that press conference described a 16-year-old white boy who also got beat the fuck up alongside of Mr. Pickett. The white boy, the white 16-year-old was on the boat that took the co-captain from the riverboat to the dock, right? So I don't know if it was a paddle boat. I don't know what kind of boat it was, like a little engine boat, whatever. But he worked for the company. The 16-year-old white child worked for the company that operated a smaller boat in the area and that ferried the co-captain from the riverboat to the shore. And the police chief detailed in that press conference how the boy's mother swore out a warrant against those who attacked her child. So now I don't know if the white child volunteered for the fight or if the white child just got punched because he was in proximity. But regardless, he ended up taking one for the team, and that counts. That don't count for nothing. That absolutely counts for something. So I don't know if this situation is over. Like I said, I suspect that some Black people are going to be implicated in this simply because I don't trust the police. I'm not assuaged by the appearance of a Black mayor and a Black police chief. That don't mean shit. That pairing, especially, not those specific people, but that pairing nationally, railroads niggas all the time. So I am not inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt in this case. But racist whites, let y'all racist asses be on notice. Let y'all be put on the fuck notice right now. And it didn't have to be this, but let this be a reinforcing reminder that Black folks is about that action. Most of them are. And don't think for a second that because you deep in Dixie or you way up top in NY or out San Fran, wherever, it don't really fucking matter. Don't try it, because I've always said this, and it's not a blanket statement. It's not 100% applicable or true all of the time. White folks, racist white folks, can still call Black people racial slurs, but there is a chance that comes with a risk. You might get punched in the face. You might get stomped the fuck out. Now, that's not an every time guarantee, but it's enough of a significant risk that I wouldn't recommend it because you don't know, racist white person looking at a given Black person. You don't know which Black person is about that action. You really don't. And you might think that if they quiet, if they're well-spoken, if they're dressed nicely, you think you might not get punched in the face. You would be mistaken. So we want to send love, solidarity, unity, healing, vibrations to everyone who participated in the melee of Montgomery, the battle royale at the dock. I want to thank you all. But let me not, before I get off of here, not off of here, but off this topic. Can I say the brilliance and the creativity coming out of my people is something to behold. So if you could cue up the remix of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Now, Lift Every Voice and Sing is the Black national anthem. Who voted on this shit? I don't know. Like, I was not there. I was not consulted. I checked with my mother. She too was not consulted. What's up, Silberg? Nobody was consulted about why Lift Every Voice and Sing is the jam. Okay. And I've said this on a previous show. It doesn't really bang. It's not a banger. It's not a I don't really dig Lift Every Voice and Sing. Now, as a Black American, you are somewhat required to at least kind of know the words, because the elders might shame you. You don't know the Black national anthem. No, I don't, because the joint don't bang. But a sister has come up with a banger of a remix. And I think it's titled Lift Every Arm and Swing. Or it might be Lift Every Chair and Swing. Hold on. I might have fucked up the title. But you get the gist, right? And I said, this is the shit I'm here for. I'm here for this. Remake and update a boring anthem, but make it saucy. Make it August 2023. Make it hot. Make it spicy. Make it clap worthy, which I feel as though this is. If you guys have not seen Lift Every Chair and Swing or Lift Every Arm and Swing, either title absolutely goes. Please take a moment and check this out.
Everybody just stretch your hands right now.
Yes.
And let us pray for those involved in the Battle of Montgomery.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Every head, every shoulder, every knee, every toe knuckle that was involved. We thank you, Lord, for their sacrifices.
Yes.
Be a fence around their jobs, Lord. Give them job security and protect them from any lawsuits, Lord.
Call Ben Crump.
Thank you for their heroism. Yes.
That was glorious. That was glorious. Is that on iTunes? Where can I find that? Is that streaming on Amazon Music? Where do I get that? I need that. I would listen to that. I would bang that. I would blast that. Lift every arm and swing to their ears and head rings. Jesus, look at God giving us anthems, beautiful anthems. And I think that ought to replace Lift Every Voice and Sing, to be honest. Because weren't you guys inspired by that? Weren't you moved? Well, even when she broke it down into the prayer, to the little devotional, I put my hands up. It's like, look, yes, can we please lift our arms in praise and celebration and prayer? Like she said, for fence of protection around the participants, the Black participants, and those who are riding for the Black people at the Battle of Montgomery. Put fences of protection around their jobs, God. Give them job security, Lord. Please make sure nobody get fired over this bullshit. Because the rowdy racist whites didn't want to move their fucking boat. Jesus, at the audacity.